course, the mother of Sarah Zent, just one of the many people that we saw in this trial. WANE 15's Jamie Duffy has been covering this, sat through all the testimony. Tell me more about Melanie Fields.
Today, after the verdict in the life without parole, she talked to us outside the Allen County Courthouse. She was clutching a sunflower, a pendant that sort of represented Sarah because that was her favorite flower, and said that she held it during the entire 2 weeks. Remember, this was a 2-week trial, very unusual. And she clutched it and she said that there's still hope. And her daughter, Jocelyn, who also testified, said there's sunshine at the end of the rainbow. They live together now and they give each other comfort when they feel overwhelmed. But at the end, she thanked the media for giving them the space that they needed when they needed it. She thanked the community for everything that they've done. You remember there's the mural on East Pontiac Street. There was the vigil the night afterwards where, after the discovery, where hundreds of people showed up. But I think the thing that really hit me the most was she said he can never do this to anyone again, ever.
Other people involved in this trial would include the prosecuting team. Tell us about Tom and Tessa.
Right. Tom, Shealy, and Tessa were obviously relieved, very happy with what happened. Tom said that this is the first life without parole case he's ever worked on. He also said it was the 8th murder trial that they'd done this year. We've got to remember that we're only in May. But as a father, he said it was a horrible case to work on. He thanked Fort Wayne PD and the law enforcement. It took a huge team to handle this case, a 2-week trial, and he was very happy with that.
Brian Martin with Fort Wayne Police is one of the detectives that was instrumental in this case. Talk about him.
Right, you know, Brian is a very seasoned homicide detective. He's been one here for 11 years. He said it was one of the worst cases he ever had to deal with. He also said that he didn't really want to call it closure because he said in a case like this, you don't really get closure, but he felt like with what happened today and the way his team handled it, the healing process could begin.
And all the homicide detectives, you said, showed up today.
They did. Sergeant Matt Wilson was there. He's now the new head of homicide, will be as of June 1st. He told us that a lot of the homicide detectives were there because most of them were involved in the investigation. The 10 members and 2 sergeants who were involved, and he also said that they had a lot of time invested in it. They really wanted to see what happened.
In the sentencing portion of today's events, the public defender did not have a lot of room to negotiate once he'd been found guilty.
Right. He was sort of pleading with them to consider allowing Frances Gull, the judge, to make the decision herself because, as he put it, it's going to be a life sentence anyway. And murder runs from 45 to 65 years. There's 4 counts here. So even if they were served consecutively, which means one after the other, it would have meant Cohen Hancz-Barron in prison between 180 and 260 years. So, and these kind of sentences, they would have to serve up to 75%. So you could see the logic there. He also said, let Judge Gull do her job. She's one of the most esteemed judges in the state of Indiana. Let her do her job.
He being Anthony Churchward. And then finally, the family has a chance to communicate in court to Cohen Hancz-Barron on August 5th.
Right. August 5th is called the sentencing. We already know what his sentence is going to be. It's life without parole. But this is the chance for the family to get up. It will be very emotional and very moving. There will be a lot of family. Sarah had a lot of family members, and this will be their chance to get up and speak to Cohen Hancz-Barron and the rest of them and give their testimony.
WANE 15's Jamie Duffy has been providing coverage throughout this trial, and you can read more of her work right now on WANE.com.